Hello children, happy to see you again. How are you all? I hope you are fine and good. I am Dakshayani, handling biology from Bardhasnar Metric Higher Secondary School, Arakonam. Children, today we are going to see chapter 2 in 11th standard zoology. The chapter name is Kingdom Animalia. Yes, in this previous sessions we have discussed about the various phylums starting from Porifera to Chordata. And in this session we are going to discuss about the last 4 classes, that is the first 2 classes in that class Amphibia and then class Reptilia. So let us go into the session. So what does it mean class Amphibia, right? In Greek amphi means both. Amphi means both. And amphibians are the first terrestrial vertebrates. They can survive in both land and in water, right? You can see the frogs, they can live both in land and in water. So they are said to be amphibians, right? And the body is divisible into 3 major parts. One is the head, mostly triangular head, trunk and some organism possesses the tail, but in some the tail is absent. For example, if you take a frog, in the young stages, while it is in the tadpole stage, it has a tail. And another example for this amphibian, salamander, they all possess the tail, but tail is present or absent in some of the forms. And here it has, we call this as tetrapods. What do you mean by tetrapods? 4 legs, right? They have 2 forelimbs. These 2 are forelimbs and hind limbs. Hind limbs. And now we can see about the skin. In some of the amphibians you can see, for example, if you take, we say in Tamil Therai, right, tree frog, the skin is very smooth and moist. But if you see a normal toad, which we see in brown color, you can see the skin is rough. So according to the skin, some may be smooth, moist, or some may be very rough and glandular, right? Sorosarpa we say, we have some frogs, it looks very ugly due to that nature of the skin. So these are all some of the important characteristics of the amphibian. Now let us see some other features. We can see the eyes of the amphibian is prominent. It is very big and it is surrounded by the membrane called as nictitating membrane. Nictitating membrane. Nictitating membrane. And this is a tympanum. In us we say it as human ears, right? But in the amphibians we say it as tympanum, both the tympanum on either side, and it is responsible for hearing. And now we can see about the respiration. Respiration, it takes place through the gills. When the frog is in tadpole stage, it breathes through the gills, and sometimes the respiration also takes place through the skin, and some respire with the help of the lungs. So these are all the respiratory organs. And you can see the frog, they also possess the vocal sacs, and which helps in producing the croaking sound to attract the female. And the frogs, they show the sexual dimorphism. It is male and female sexes are separate and sexual reproduction takes place, and but the fertilization is external. Fertilization is external. It takes place outside the body. Fertilization is external and here development is indirect. Indirect means the frog it undergo the tadpole stage to become a individual, and the excretory is mesonephric, that is a moderately developed kidneys or the excretory organs. And all these amphibians they undergo two types of sleeps, that is hibernation and aestivation. Aestivation is a summer sleep. During a very hot summer, the amphibians they lead a burrowing life, right? So that we call it as aestivation, and in the extreme winter they undergo the winter sleep called as a hibernation. And now let us see some of the examples of the amphibia. So first one is a toad. Toad, it belongs to the class Rana, and this is a frog. Frog, toad, frog, and it is a tree frog. Tree frog. And Ichthyophis, it's an important one more question children, just underline in your book. Ichthyophis. Ichthyophis is a limbless amphibian. We saw that all the amphibians you see in this picture, they possess forelimbs and the hind limbs, but in this we do not have any limbs. So we can also call this as limbless amphibian. Limbless amphibian. And this is a salamandrus. The common name is salamander. Salamander, and it possesses a long tail. So these are all the examples of class amphibia. And now let us look into the another class, that is reptilia. We have discussed about the class species. Next we discussed about the amphibians, and now we are going to see about the reptilia. In Latin, repri or reptum. Repri or reptum means to creep or to crawl. To creep or to crawl. Crawl means what? Have you seen a crocodile walking? How it walks? Like this, right? Crawling movements. So, they in Latin, repri or reptum means to creep or to crawl. So, the organisms which creep on the land, we classify them under the class reptilia. And here they can see some reptiles we can see both on land. They spend that some of the time in water. Also for example crocodile we can see sometimes it lives inside the water and remaining times it's on the land. So reptiles, some are marine, some are freshwater, and you can see the exoskeleton. Exoskeleton means which is present outside the body. If you see a reptile, you can see, if you just imagine a crocodile children, you can see many rough surfaces on their body. So such we call it as a scutes. What we say as scutes. So some they possess the epidermal scales and some organism possesses the scutes. So this is a scutes. You can see the triangle, that's a rectangular surfaces which is very rough, we can call it as a scute. And when we see the egg of reptiles, right, it is said to be cladoic. What do you mean by cladoic? Cladoic means they possess a shell. They possesses the shell. Shell is seen and they have the 3 embryonic layers. The first one is a amnion, allantois and chorion, and apart from this yolk sac is also present. So this is a yolk sac. This is a yolk sac. So what are all the extra embryonic layers? Amnion, chorion, allantois and yolk sac. So these are all the extra embryonic layers we can see in the egg of the reptiles. the reptiles, they respire through the lungs and they are said to be poikilothermic. What do you mean by poikilothermic, children? They are cold-blooded animals. They change their body temperature according to the environment, right? And now let us see some of the examples of reptiles. So it is a tortoise. It is a tortoise and this is a turtle. What is the difference between a tortoise and the turtle, children? Turtle, they spend most of their time in water, but the tortoise, they spend most of the time on the land. And you can see this dome shaped. You can see the tortoise has a dome shaped structure on it, right? It is covered by the hard exoskeleton. We say it as a carapace. What we say? Carapace. Just underline in your book, carapace. So this carapace in tortoise, it is dome shape. What is the dome? It is in the half circle shape, dome shape, paana madri we say. But in the turtle, you can see the carapace is thin and flattened and its limbs are modified for walking. They have the claws. But here the webs are modified for swimming. They have the web for swimming. So this is the main difference between the tortoise and the turtle. The another examples are Draco. Draco, it is a flying lizard. Draco, flying lizard. Draco, right? And it is a garden lizard, that is chameleons. Pachondi we say in Tamil, which changes the color. When it is in the green leaves, it is green in color, but when it is on the bark of the trees, it changes into brown. The modification is to prevent themselves from its predators. Some other examples are crocodile, Naja Naja, that is cobra, and crate. Kattuviriyan we say in Tamil, crate. So these are all the examples of reptilia. And here sexual dimorphism is seen. The organisms are divisible into male and female. And the sexual reproduction takes place and most of them are oviparous. What do you mean by oviparous? Oviparous means they lay the eggs. Oviparous. And all the reptiles possess a three-chambered heart, right? They are divisible into three chambers, but only crocodile possesses the four-chambered heart. So from this neat questions may ask children, all the reptiles possess three-chambered heart except crocodile, because it possesses the four-chambered heart like us. It has two auricles and the two ventricles. So children, with this session comes to an end. We have seen the class amphibian and the class reptilia. And along with this, we have attached the study material, assessment and question bank for this lesson. Go through it and make sure how far you understood the topic. Thank you children.